So many new Etsy sellers go weeks, sometimes months without even making a single sale, and they start wondering if this will ever work. But in this video, I'm breaking down the exact 5 strategies that got me my very first sale in just 9 days, without social media, without ads, and with only 2 digital products in my Etsy shop. Since then, that same approach has helped me make over $27,000 selling digital products on Etsy as a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. And even better, I've watched other busy moms use these same strategies to make sales too. Like Adana. She works full-time, has 2 boys, and is currently pregnant, and still woke up to a sale she made while she was sleeping. Or Amy. She sells physical invitations and joined the sales sprint with just 1 sale in her shop. 3 weeks later, after getting feedback in our student-only community, she hit 10 sales. And Lauren, a mom of 2 who literally listens to class lectures while working on her Etsy shop, just celebrated a $98 day on Etsy. And the best part is, none of this requires you to be techie, creative, or get lucky. It's just a simple shift in strategy that most beginners miss. Let's start with the first one, because this technique alone might change everything about what you decide to sell. Strategy 1, I didn't pick a product. I picked a problem buyers were actively trying to solve. Most beginners make the mistake of starting with what they want to create. But Etsy doesn't reward creativity, it rewards relevance. It's not about what you love, it's about what people are already searching for. I didn't want to waste time making something cute that no one was even looking for. So I flipped the script. Instead of asking, what should I sell? I asked, what is someone searching Etsy for in desperation, hoping for a quick win? For me, that buyer was a homeschooling mom with ADHD because that's literally who I was at the time. I was overwhelmed, behind on housework, and trying to homeschool a 3-year-old while my 7-month-old was hitting me with toys. One night, I was doom scrolling TikTok and I kept seeing videos about ADHD, cleaning hacks, mental load tips, and routines for neurodivergent moms. But what really caught my eye was how fast these videos were blowing up. The views, the saves, the comment sections. It was obvious this topic was touching a nerve. That's when I realized this isn't just a trend. It's a daily pain point for a lot of people. And no one was talking about it on Etsy the way they were on TikTok. Then I saw a TikTok video of this girl using a printable checklist to help her keep up with the cleaning. She said we could get her checklist in her bio, so I went to her bio and clicked the link. It took me to her Etsy shop where her product had a bestseller badge, which meant it had a lot of sales in a short period of time. So I knew there was proven demand. But here's what surprised me. Her checklist was only 5 pages. She was charging $18. That told me 2 things. People were willing to pay, and I could offer way more value. I instantly knew I could create something better, more comprehensive, more ADHD friendly, and at a no-brainer price. That's how I landed on my first digital product, a bundle of ADHD cleaning checklists. It included room-by-room cleaning checklists in order from top to bottom like a professional cleaner would do, pre-filled cleaning tasks, and blank pages so you could create your own routine. Daily, weekly, monthly, and annual task breakdowns. ADHD-friendly tips to boost motivation and consistency. And I threw in a free 5-page productivity bundle so they could actually make the time to clean in the first place. This wasn't just a printable. It was a complete cleaning solution built for a brain like mine. And I made sales quickly, not because I had the best design, but because I created something that made someone's life easier. You've probably heard people say, find your niche or do your research. But here's the twist. I didn't start by looking at categories like planners or home organization. I started by thinking, what is stressing someone out? For me, it wasn't just printables. It was the feeling of being overwhelmed and needing something to make your life easier. That's the difference between selling a product and solving a problem. For example, let's say someone is a preschool teacher planning her classroom for the fall. She's not thinking, I need clip art. She's thinking, I need cute fall decorations and I don't have time to make anything myself. Now imagine you sell a bundle of fall themed clip art with apples, pumpkins, and friendly woodland animals. And they're already formatted to be easy to print or drop into decor. That's a shortcut for someone who's short on time and overwhelmed with prep. Even clip art or invitations become problem solving when you stop thinking about what you're selling and start thinking about who you're helping. And solving a problem is what makes people want to buy. That shift alone took me from guessing to getting views within hours of listing my product. Because when you solve a real problem, you do not have to convince people to buy. They're already out there looking. And that leads us into strategy number 2. I focused on one type of buyer. Most beginners try to make something for everyone because they're afraid of leaving money on the table. But here's the truth. When you talk to everyone, no one feels like your product is for them. People buy faster when they feel understood. Like you didn't just list a product, you created it for them. I didn't just say cleaning checklist. I pictured one very specific person and asked, what is she struggling with? In my case, it was a homeschooling mom with ADHD, already juggling a million tabs in her brain, drowning in clutter, no set schedule, and probably starting 12 cleaning tasks but finishing none of them. So I wrote my product description and listing photos like I was speaking directly to her. I chose fonts and colors that felt calm and focused, not busy and overwhelming. I added ADHD-friendly tips that only someone who's been there would think to include. Everything from the bonus productivity bundle to the way the cleaning tasks were ordered was designed for one person. A mom like me who just wanted her home to feel manageable again. And here's the part most sellers miss. People always say, know your audience, but they don't tell you exactly what that means. The more specific you get, the easier every decision becomes. What to say in your listing photos, what kind of mock-ups to use, how to name it, price it, bundle it. It all clicks into place when you're not guessing who your product is for. It's like buying a gift. If you don't know who it's for, you don't know if you should get a baby doll or a screwdriver set. But if you do know, suddenly everything makes sense. If your ideal buyer is planning her kid's birthday party, she's not casually scrolling. She's probably running behind on planning, feeling overwhelmed by choices, and trying to get everything done while the kids are asleep. She doesn't just want a cute invitation. She wants it to be done, editable, and easy without needing a 30-minute Canva tutorial. So instead of just listing editable birthday invitation, position it like this. Ready to edit birthday invite. No design skills needed. Edit from your phone in minutes. Matching favor tags and thank you card included. Now your product isn't just an invite, it's a shortcut. It solves the real problem she's having right now. That's why clarity matters. Even with 0 reviews, your shop will stand out because buyers will feel like you get them. And when someone feels understood, clicking add to cart becomes a no-brainer. But even if your product is perfect for someone, they'll never know it unless your listing photos show it. Which leads us to strategy number 3. I treated my listing photos like a sales page, not just a photo gallery. Most shoppers don't read the full description, they scroll through the listing photos first. That means your images aren't just decorative. They're doing the heavy lifting to earn trust, answer questions, and sell the product. I quickly realized each photo needed to do something and not just sit there and look pretty. For my ADHD cleaning checklist, I didn't just show one picture of the cover and call it a day. I used all 10 of my listing photos to walk my target buyer through an experience. And these are my real listing photos from when I very first listed this product. So you can see that every photo has a purpose, and that is to remove doubt, highlight a benefit, or build trust. And you've probably heard use all 10 listing photos, but it's not just about filling space. Your photos are like little salespeople. If you give them the right message, they will do the work for you. That's what makes people say, wait, this was made for me. And when you guide buyers through the experience visually, they don't just understand your product, they feel ready to buy it. But even if your photos are working hard, they won't matter if no one ever sees your listing, which leads us into strategy number 4. I focused on keyword intent. Most Etsy beginners think SEO, search engine optimization, is just about cramming as many keywords as you can into your title, description, and tags. But getting views doesn't matter if the people landing on your listing photos aren't looking to buy. That's why keyword intent is so important. It helps you attract buyers who are already in add to cart mode, not just browsing. For my ADHD cleaning bundle, I didn't just use broad tags like cleaning checklist or home organization. I asked myself, what is my buyer searching for when she's overwhelmed and needs help now? So I use more specific long tail keywords like ADHD cleaning schedule, adult chore chart, home cleaning planner, because someone searching those keywords aren't just browsing, they're looking for something that solves their problem right now. People always say find keywords with low competition, and that's not wrong, but I also look at what kind of buyer is using this keyword. Cleaning planner might get more traffic, but ADHD cleaning checklist speaks to someone who is more ready to buy. So So instead of thinking like a seller, I started thinking like a buyer. To do this, you can start with the Etsy Auto Suggest. Start typing into the Etsy search bar something your buyer would type in if they were looking for your product, and just see what starts popping up in the Etsy search bar. You can also scroll down to the Explore Related Searches section and see what keywords Etsy is telling you is related to that search term. You'll want to use long tail keywords that describe the problem your product is solving. Instead of just birthday invitation, you'll want to use something like unicorn birthday invitation. Then repeat your main keyword or a version of it in your product title, your product tags, and your product description, but make it sound natural and not robotic. Focus on words real people would say and not just the keywords you think Etsy wants you to use. Think of your keywords like bait. The type of bait you use determines the type of fish you'll catch. If you want people who are ready to buy, use keywords that solve specific problems, not just describe general categories. Once I started using buyer intent keywords, I stopped getting empty views and started getting views that converted into sales. Because the people that were finding my listings weren't just curious, they were ready. And Etsy notices that too. Because when people click and buy, Etsy pushes your listing out to more people. But even if the right buyer lands on your listing, they still might need an extra push to buy right now, which leads us into strategy number 5. I created urgency without being pushy. Buyers move fast, especially when they're shopping for digital products. They're often in the middle of solving a problem in real time. So if your product feels helpful right now, they're more likely to take action. That's why I wanted to create a little urgency with my digital products to give buyers a reason to say, I'll just get this now. And when you're new and building momentum, those early sales matter, not just for income, but for reviews, social proof, and confidence. When I first opened my shop, I knew that getting reviews was more important than making money. So instead of focusing on profit, I focused on building trust. I ran a 50% off sale for the first 60 to 90 days of my shop being open, just to get those first few sales and reviews rolling in. I promoted the sale in my shop banner where I said grand opening sale, 50% off everything, which was just one product, but it was 50% off. And I also put it in the very first sentence of my shop announcement, letting people know that my entire shop was 50% off. And that sale did exactly what I hoped it would. It helped me get traction, boost sales, and build social proof. Because once a product has reviews, it's easier to sell itself. You don't need a countdown timer on your listings. You just need to answer this question. Why should someone buy this today instead of waiting? For a mom who's overwhelmed, just seeing that it's done for her and easy to use might be the push she needs to grab it today. You can also use phrases like 4th of July sale, 40% off everything, bonus included for a limited time, or instant download. Start using it today. Mention that the product is printable or that they can edit it so they know they can use it immediately. And you can also reinforce emotional wins like finally plan that dream vacation. And here's a pro tip. You can add these phrases in your listing description, listing photos, your shop announcement, or even your shop banner. Creating urgency helps buyers make decisions faster, and when you're new, that momentum matters. I wasn't pressuring anyone, I was just making it clear this product can help you today and it won't be this price forever. It's not about forcing the sale, it's about creating the moment that finally feels right for them to buy it. So those are the 5 exact strategies I used to make my first Etsy sale in just 9 days. And if you're just getting started, don't overthink it. Just focus on solving one real problem for one real person. But if you've been doing all the right things and still not making daily sales, there are some hard truths most Etsy sellers aren't told. And in this video, I'm breaking them down so you can finally start making sales in your Etsy shop.